Hello, Annie, and hello, Nieves.
Hello, Miss Letty.
So, as it says on the screen, we're going to play a game which is a board game. And this is just to help us to practice English. So now our board game is using WH questions, words. So this is words like what, where, why, when, etc. like you can see on the board. Just to give it a bit more interest, I will take out a bingo ball, and that is how far you can move, just to make it a little more interesting. So depends where you land on the board. So where you land on the board, that is the word you have to use in the question. And the one person will make the question or ask the question, and the other person will answer, just to keep it moving. Right then. Okay. Nieves, what number have you here? Ooh, number 4. And Annie, you have number 1. So Nieves will go first. Okay. That was a quick way of saying which way we go. So here we go. You have, Nieves, a 3. Right? So let's count. 1, 2, 3. And that is your word. Off you go, Nieves. Think of a question with that word.
Annie, why do you think it is too hot even in this time of the year?
When?
Why do you think it's so hot this time of the year?
Why? Because the climate change and also global warming and the attitude of human being, and they using product, that crazy product like plastic a lot, so it is kind of ruin the environment.
Right, so you think it's to do with climate change, really, more than anything, right? Because here where we live, we're in winter, and we're 20 degrees. It's a bit chilly sometimes in the shade, but it's still hot for this time of the year. Right, Annie, you have a 5, so let's go. 1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5. Who?
Okay. Who is the person you always put on pedestal?
Who is the person?
Who is you always puts on pedestal?
Who is the person you always put on a pedestal? Who is the person you always look up to?
Well, I could say is my partner, my future husband, just because he's a really nice person. He's calm, and he always thinks of other people and put everyone's wishes or needs before him.
Right, so you like him because he puts other people before himself. Right, before himself. Right, here we go again. So you have now a 5. So we were here, you have to remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How long?
Is that for me?
That is for Nieves, and she's going to ask you.
For how long have you know Miss Letty, Annie?
I think we have been met about 2 years more or less. Nice. I don't mistaken. It was in the chat box group, and we met on the breakout room.
Right. So we were in Kovic. That could be a help to know when we met. We were in Kovic, and we belonged to a group called Chatbox, and we met in a breakout room in one of the meetings where we met to chat with other people. Very good. Nice. So now it's Annie. You have a 2, and I have to find it. You were here with who? 1, 2. So you can roll again. Right, so I can give you another number. And this time you have a 3. Here we go. Oh gosh, my fingers today. 1, 2, 3. Are you?
Are you content with your achievement about your English fluency?
Right. So are you content with your level of English, Nieves?
Oh, no. I need to improve a lot. Yes, so that's because I like studying every day, watching films in English, listening to the BBC radio. I want to improve more and more, Annie.
Which part do you think you need to improve?
I think it's my speaking.
Right. Well, you are very confident as a person. So speaking in what way? Vocabulary or what?
More my accent and the way I finish the words, because I sometimes I eat the end of the word. So it's my accent and the way that I finish every word, I think.
I think sometimes without realizing the pronunciation of a few words that we don't realize are not quite right, and also the confusion of a word, that where there's 2 or 3 words that have the same meaning but you use them in different situations. I think that is when you get to an intermediate and above level, that's where it gets complicated. Right then, Annie, you were on. Oh, you asked Nieves. So it's Nieves' turn. And Nieves was on. How long
How long?
here? Here, no? And your number is 5. So I go, oh, 1 minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you?
Did you go to a restaurant or to the cinema last weekend, Annie?
Last weekend, I had I had lunch at the restaurant. So I ate out, yeah, with my family, but I didn't go to the movie.
All right. Okay. So Annie was on Are You? Right. Let me just find it. Are You? And you have Annie and number 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you ever?
Okay. Have you ever taken an online course when you were teenager?
Well, not when I was a teenager, but I did it about 1 year ago about children special needs.
Oh, so you
And it
did a
was
course
online.
online, no? For children with special needs. Yes, every day we have more people with special needs. Right. That was Annie. Now it's Nieves, no? And you had Did You? And you have a 1. So you have you ever?
Okay. Annie, have you ever swim in a frozen water or really, really cold water?
Have you ever swam? Have you ever swam in icy cold water?
No, I have never done it because I live in a tropical country and here it's very hot. I didn't find this kind of stuff. So I just swam in the swimming pool with my kids when sometimes on the weekend just spend time. Sometimes I take a walk, sometimes swimming, just in a pool, only on swimming pool. But also sometimes on the beach beach sometimes with kids as well. But I never ever swim in the kind of what is that? The
Icy
cold water.
water,
Icy, very
freezing,
cold.
very cold. And so the water there in the beach is warm?
Yeah, warm.
Oh,
Yes,
like a bath, no?
yeah, because we got a lot of sunshine. So then, yeah, that awesome. You have to shock yourself, when you got cold. Instead of if you like, floating, and then you're gonna get windy, get wind, then you feel like cool. So I think it's better just soaking your body until your neck, up to your neck.
So what I want to understand is you're hot before you get into the water and you're still hot when you're in the water.
Oh no, not that. That what I mean. The water is the temperature is really good. Not that cool, not that hot. This good. Kind of the same like the temperature in our body.
Right. So we could say the water is body temperature or the water is warm and outside you are hot. So you are hot before you get in the water and the water is lukewarm, body temperature or warm. So there's some option. For example, last Friday, I went for a swim in the sea here. And the water isn't warm, Annie. The water is cold. So I got into the water very quickly, Annie, and I started swimming because it was very cold. But it was a fantastic sensation getting into cold water. Your body appreciates it. I can't explain why. So we got into the water very quickly, screaming. But once we'd been in there swimming and came back out, our body was tingling, and we felt really good. But getting in, it's really difficult. Look at her face. Love it. So I go swimming in an outdoor swimming pool and then we go to the beach, which is quite cold. So that was Nieves' question. So now we have to go to Annie. And Annie, you have a 4, a 4, or a 4. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. How tall?
Oh. How tall is your husband? I don't have any words.
How tall is your husband? Is he taller than you or shorter than you?
Oh no, my God, he's taller than me. Can you imagine if he was shorter than me? I'm very short, honey. I'm 1 meter 50, I think. And Pedro is I think 75, 76.
So he's like me. So
Yep.
it's like, yeah, you get up to here on me, I think.
Yeah,
no?
more or less. Yeah.
More or less. So he is taller than you.
Yeah.
And you
Thanks
are
to
a
the
little,
Lord.
well, we could say you're a little squirt. You're very small, a little squirt. And he is taller than you. So now this is for Nieves, no? A 5. So let me just go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How high?
Ooh. Annie, how high do you think that you can get on your career or your job?
Sorry, could you?
How far do
Oh,
you think you can go in your career? Well, that's how far. So how high? No. How high is more to do with buildings, maybe. So how far do you think you will be able to go in your career? So it's farther.
you cannot say how high here.
I don't
like
think so. I don't think so.
So
So how high is for buildings, Nieves? Try it with buildings.
Okay, so how high is the building where you live right now, Annie?
more or less approximately, because I can't measure exactly how tall my building is. So I think about the building, it is how high or how tall. Which one is correct?
1 minute. How tall is for people?
Okay.
And how high is for buildings? Or buildings. So I'm not saying we don't use it incorrectly without thinking. We do, and we still understand it, but it's that way. One is one and one is the other.
Yeah, probably about 5 meters from the floor to the roof. I think more or less, just standard. It's not that a huge house. It's just, yeah, just enough for the family.
Right. So it's not very tall. For example, I'm on the first floor, and I would say I could be 3 meters, a maximum 4 meters from the floor, for example. Right. So Annie's on how tall? We just move the balls around a bit. And you have a 6. Let's see. How tall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you? Annie, can you?
Okay. Can you notice where someone from through the way they speak?
Can you notice where someone is from the way they speak?
Yes, I can notice they are foreign, but I can maybe know. Well, I can recognize English people, but French people maybe, and Italian, but no more countries. Do you know?
I think
know that
maybe the most difficult for us could be Asian people, because we are not used to recognizing the characteristics. We may put everyone together, no, because we don't know all the different Asian countries. I think they're the hardest ones for us, no? The other day, someone thought I was French. I don't know why. They said from my accent, they thought I was French. They thought it would, yeah, yes, I thought, no comment. Right, 3. So 1 minute, you were here, and as you didn't do correctly that one, 1, 2, 3. When was the last time? So you're here, Nieves. When was the
no,
last
I
time?
was on how high?
Yeah, but you didn't do it right.
Oh, okay.
So you had to go back.
So
when was the last time?
Okay. When was the last time that you have a really good day, Annie?
The last time was yesterday. I had a good day with my kids, and also I had a few conversation in any groups on Facebook as well. So it was enjoyable to me. At least I can spend my weekend in a positive way.
Right. So you had a nice time yesterday with your son, and also you were able to take part in some online conversations from people from around the world. Right.
Nice.
So you're on can you? 3. 1, 2, 3. Could you?
Could you tell me which part of 4 skill that's really annoying for you to learn about?
Right. So could you tell her which of the 4 skills when you're learning English don't you like so much?
But the irregular verbs, when you have to memorize all the irregular verbs, it was annoying for me because you get sometimes confused with some of them. Memorizing is boring for me a little. I like more the practice, talking, listening, reading. I really enjoy listening to other people.
Right. 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you?
Can you can you speak another language apart from yours and English, Annie?
No, I didn't speak any language besides English and my mother tongue and my native language. I only speak 3 languages, my mother tongue, my native one, and English only.
So you said 3.
Yeah.
So you speak your mother tongue. What's the other one?
Yeah. My native language, and then English.
So is it like Bali, Indonesian, and English?
Yes.
Ah, right. Okay. So your mother tongue, and you're the one I got a bit confused there. Right. Okay then. Da, 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 da. Do you think? Ask Nieves a question, do you think?
Okay. Do you think it is possible to get a free course from English teachers?
Do you think it's possible to get a free course from English teachers? So do you think English teachers offer their time for free? No?
Well, I think some of them do. When I was in England, I used to go to a school, and some of the English teacher offer a few free hours to learn English, to have conversation with them. They just use some rules, grammar rules, and spend about 2-3 hours a week with you just for free.
Oh.
Sometimes, depends which country you're in, they offer immigrant language courses so they can integrate easier into the country where they've had to go to live. So that does depend on the country you are living in, no? So for example, I know of cases now in Germany, for example, the Ukrainian people get free German classes, but they need to go every day and they need to take part. They need to take it seriously. Then I have another friend who has a residency. He's from Syria. He isn't an immigrant or a refugee. And so he would have to pay for his classes. So it depends on your lifestyle. If you have money or you don't, they help you for free or not. I know of those cases, no? So, and I can imagine in some countries they don't offer you anything to immerse yourself in the new country you have chosen to live in. Right then, girls, we finished, as you can see, this board game, and it was to practice WH questions. You both did really well, and it can show people a good way. It's not so easy not to think of a question just on the spur of the moment, but it's a good practice to keep your English going. So let's say goodbye to everybody. And if they like what they're doing, we would appreciate the like button. It only takes a few seconds and it does help us to know which things we should do more of. And also to subscribe. There's always a new person now and again who subscribes. We're doing quite nicely. But the like button would be nice to know which things that we do they would like us to continue and to repeat. So the like button, that's how it helps us. And also if we see people that they watch certain videos more than others, we know to make or to continue doing those kinds of videos. So bye girls, and I will see you again.
Bye bye, Miss Letty. Bye bye, Annie.